Final track event of the evening, Dongpeng, Xidongpeng, China in lane 1. Falk of the USA in 2, Thomas, Jamaica 3, Richardson, the world champion, USA 4, Liu Xiang, China 5, Merritt of the USA 6, David Oliver 7, Wen Junxi in 8, and Craddock, Kevin Craddock of the United States in lane 9. Well, Liu Xiang, there he is, the man who lives here in Shanghai, and he's come up on the big scoreboard and the cheers ringing out around this stadium. 13:09 already this season in Japan, in Kawasaki, and that was the 6th of May. But he's not the fastest man in the field. Aris Merritt in lane 6 is, but let's go through them. Xidongpeng, he's the Chinese number 2. He has been for a long, long time. He's drawn in lane 1. Falk, Dexter Falk of the United States, is 13:13 at his best. That was in 2009, 13:23 this season. Dwight Thomas of Jamaica, a 13:15 man. Remember, he was Jamaica's top sprinter until the likes of Usain Bolt came along and Asafa Powell and the like. He's gone to another event and doing well. Here's the man who won the world title with the disqualification of Robles. But Jason Richardson, very impressive last season. 13:04 his best time. 13:30 this year so far. Good technician, very tall. Liu Xiang moved to 7 strides to the first hurdle to match that of Robles and David Oliver. The big men always use 7. And he's such a favourite and a real flowing hurdler in real contrast to David Oliver. Just receiving the accolade of this crowd. Merritt, 13:03 on the 4th of May in Fayetteville, the US of A. A very good early season form for this man. It was last year, faltered a bit in the end of the season, but nevertheless, he's an early season man and he's proved with a new personal best already. David Oliver, well, what about this? The Olympic bronze medalist, 4th in the World Championships. Disappointing end to the season for him. The previous season he was unbeatable. Sub 13 seconds on several occasions. Big, rugged, dynamic character. Wen Junxi of China. 13:46 his personal best, set a few seasons ago. 13:48 this season. Another American, Craddock, drawn in lane 9. Former World Junior bronze medalist, 13:95, not particularly quick in colourful Daegu, which is the meet before this championship. He's drawn on the outside. Liu Xiang and Merritt, these two to watch, but David Oliver, you never know. This fella injured just at the wrong time when the Beijing Olympics came along. Xidongpeng, Falk, Thomas, Richardson, Liu Xiang, Merritt, Oliver, Xi and Craddock. The men's 110 meters hurdles final. Meeting record 12.99 by David Oliver, the man who runs in lane 7. This time, and Merritt got a good start. Liu Xiang is now moving ahead of the rest of this field on the inside. Richardson going well too. Liu Xiang is coming away. Oliver going strongly to Oliver. Liu Xiang's going to take this. Liu Xiang wins it. Oliver, I think, in second. 12.99 equals the meeting record in front of his home crowd. I tell you what, in these conditions, fantastic, because the wind speed plus 0.4. That was a terrific run by Liu Xiang. He's such a great athlete. Former Olympic champion, former world champion. 12.97, it's been rounded down. That is a new meeting record, taking David Oliver's time off the record books. Fantastic race. David Oliver came through at 13:13 ahead of Jason Richardson. Those were the two vying for second and third, and it was close, just 3/100ths of a second. But this fella was dominant, totally dominant. In the Asian Games prior to last season, he ran 13.09. He then changed his blocks round, moved to 7 strides, and then went to the World Championship and was denied by Robles in a way. Robles disqualified by holding back Liu Xiang, it was adjudged. 12.97, what a way to run that time. That's a world class in every sense. Have a look at this, Tim.
Well, fabulous, wasn't it? Did get a good start, immediately applies a little bit of pressure. You know that Stewart is a former hurdler. To the men beside him, Richardson battling to his left there, to the right of picture in the grey. But Liu Xiang's strongest part of the race is the latter part. And it was over the last 2 or 3 flights, he pulled well clear from the Americans. Richardson hitting that penultimate barrier, that pulled him back a little bit. But what a great race from Liu Xiang. The fireworks at the finish here in Shanghai, and 12.97. Boy, oh boy, he's anything but a spent force.
He is absolutely superb. As a technician, he ran in, he attacked the hurdles, came off it beautifully. That was as smooth as it gets, it really was. Plus 0.4 wind, and he now acknowledges the support that this vast crowd here have come to see him, and he says thank you very much. He's at home here in Shanghai, and that was superb. Absolutely superb. World class in every sense. His hurdling technique, brilliant. His sprinting speed is in very good shape indeed. And I tell you what, you can never say that here's a favourite for anything, but certainly you've seen pretty well the main protagonists for the Olympic final in London in 2012. Pretty well all in this race with Merritt, with Oliver, with Richardson. Let's have another look at this. He got away brilliantly. Look at the way he comes off the hurdle. Brilliant trail leg. Superb flick of that lead leg. He comes off the hurdle brilliantly. He works off the hurdle. That's when you work in hurdling, off it. And look at the way he moves. Oliver going very strongly, the rugged character, in so much contrast in a way to Liu Xiang, the flowing man, the rugged man, and the new man in Richardson, the world champion. But this is a man who is a great, already a great. When interviewed last year, David Oliver said, well, I may well beat him, but I haven't won the world title. I haven't won the Olympic title. This fella has, and my goodness me, who's going to say that he might not do it again if he continue that sort of form and the development of that sort of form? Liu Xiang of China is the man.
And they know what they've got to do now. And I'll tell you what, Stuart, there's an awful lot of people who I think after the, not injustice, but the misfortune that befell him in Beijing, where of course he couldn't come out and make a decent defence of his title from London. There's a lot of people who would really whittle this man to regain his Olympic gold from Athens. He, of course, is a man who will be wanting to regain the world record almost as much as that Olympic gold. But he is so quick, isn't he? From the start to the first barrier, and that is so crucial. And then he's really quick off the final barrier too. But Stuart, as a technician, is he up there with the very best you've seen?
Oh yes, indeed. I mean, he is a great technician. He's got basic speed, but he's so good into and off the hurdle. He really flows. You know, Merritt, who had the fastest time coming in here, was absolutely tense once Liu Xiang started to go away. And look how he suffered in the end. A man who'd run 13.03 this season. But Liu Xiang truly was magnificent. The performance of the day in every way, really. This was terrific. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. The world champion in his wake.